Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
That is Zoe, or Zoe Kingocha with Skin. So back to, okay, we always start with the shenanigans. So our first segment is always about shenanigans that's been happening. So let's get into the threads because there's a lot that's been happening this past week. Unless you've been living under a rock or you've been completely... unless you've been living under a rock. Because, man, even my shushu knows there's been protests. And she has a kadude and all that stuff. There's been protests that have been happening in the country that started on Tuesday in regards to the finance bill. Kenyans are showing up and saying reject. Since that has happened, there's a couple of other things that have been popping up. One of the other things is it started with politicians coming out and trying to downplay the protests, right? So they were like talking about, first, there's one who was out here saying this. First of all, the way they've been using the word Gen Z, now it's being used like it's a slur. And I personally think now at this point we should stop using the word Gen Z and just start saying Kenyans because one, it has gone beyond that particular age group. Everyone's showing up. Grandmothers are there, mothers are there, their daughters are there. We even saw like Generation Alpha kids on the streets, right? So, but I digress. There's been protests that have been going on. Reject Finance Bill protest in Nairobi, dubbed Occupy Parliament, where guys, it started in Nairobi on Tuesday, and then other counties also started joining in. And by yesterday, let's be honest, by yesterday, I think almost half the country by now has participated. So there was this idea of, this is just a small thing, who cares? But now it's looking like it's way bigger than the government anticipated. So at first, they started to puza, making comments, saying things like, these kids are just showing up in the streets, trying to, like they're showing up in Ubers, eating KFC and using iPhones. And I was like, did you want them to come with a mulika mwizi, be starved and homeless for it to matter? There's certain things where you just feel like, I don't understand the concept. Like, what is your hope? What are you hoping to achieve with such a statement, right? And then now they've started backpedaling on those statements. And now suddenly they're like, we're so proud of them and all that. There was a statement that apparently the president of this country made in regards to how Sudri is like proud that the young people are now finally showing up and doing the thing. But then I'm like, are you going to address the fact that your police officers actually shot people? Also, if you are saying they're showing up peaceful and ABC, then why are they being tear gassed? That's the question. There are certain things that just are not adding up. So yeah, politicians are trying to gaslight people. There's been abductions that have been happening right now. The person who's missing, his name is Shad Khalif on social media, but his name is Shadrach Kiprono. They abducted him yesterday. So they've been doing like abductions have been happening. It's like, I think it's an intimidation tactic, if we're being honest. There's something dubbed 7 days of rage. So from the previous protest that happened on Thursday, there's action points of everything that's supposed to happen leading up to when the president decides if he's going to pass the bill or not. And the thing that's very evident with the way that this situation is being handled from State House and by the government is, one, at first they thought it was just something small they could pull, then they've realized maybe it's not. And the second thing, they were like, okay, how do we divide people? Because when it comes to politics, the fastest way to get away with stuff is to sort of divide people. And unfortunately, with this particular group of people, there's not a lot of stuff you can say where they'd be like, oh, like Kitambo, because the politicians we currently have played politics when politics was a very tribal game, and they would use tribe as a dividing factor. But in such an instance, that doesn't work. So now they tried the class thing where they're like, oh, look, some of you are taking Ubers, and did you want us to walk here? Like what's so and I think they're just spewing things without actually thinking about it. And then now it's like when people just point it out, that's when they're like, okay, maybe it's insane. So basically that's what's been happening. And I think everything that I don't think it's taken over the world. It's no longer just a Kenyan movement. It's a global movement. Kenyans in the diaspora are participating now as well. They're marching to the embassies. They're marching to the consulates. Kenyans were protesting against, no, foreigners were protesting against the Kenyan president when he did a visit in a foreign land. And it was Haitians who were protesting Ruto because Ruto wanted to send, or still wants to send, Kenyan policemen to Haiti. So I feel like this movement is really like getting all the traction in the world. And when we come back, we'll talk about the position of mainstream media as we look through the paper. So basically, I don't know about your timeline. My timeline has been hashtag reject finance bill 2024. My timeline has been hashtag occupy parliament. My timeline has been justice for Rex. My timeline has been free Shad, free Austin, free Ed. That's all I've been saying. Hashtag tumechoka. That's all I am saying. That's all I'm engaging with. And there's even someone who said it feels wrong to talk about anything else for as long as like this is going on. And I'm like, I thought I was the only one who was feeling guilty. Turns out I'm not. Where there's plenty of us, so there's that. So let's listen to Kinoti, a little bit of Kinoti, and then we can look through the papers and see what mainstream media has to tell us.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Change. My love for you will forever stay the same. Nikiwa kando yako, I'm miles away. We'll be okay, and I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. We'll break down, 'cause it'll be some time before tushikane mikono. And I won't see you often, na siyo kupenda kwangu ni mipango ya Mungu. But I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. If it's your love, I'm prepared to wait. Nitangoja, na sitachoka, no matter where you are. Nitangoja, no matter where you are. Nitangoja, na sitachoka, no matter where you are. Nitangoja, na sitachoka, no matter where you are. Nitangoja, na sitachoka, mama, sitachoka, nitakungoja wewe. Oh, sitachoka, mama, no matter where you are. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. kwako, umenishika moyoni, sasa mimi ni wako. Niliteguka nikakuangukia, sikuamini bahati yangu. Wewe ulilinda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ulilinda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ntawacha kuwapo ukiniwacha mimi. Mimi siwezi ishi bila moyo wangu. Nimeteguka, nimekuangukia, siamini bahati yangu. Wewe linda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, linda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, tutaishi pamoja kupitia yote, kila siku hadithi nitateguka, nitakuangukia, sitaamini bahati yangu. Wewe ulinde moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ulinde moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, mpenzi wangu, linda moyo wangu, linda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Shairi La Upendo by Njiru, and before that we're listening to Kinoti with Nitangoja. Let's look through the papers because we have a couple of things. Of course, like I said, my timeline is all about the protest. The papers, they might have a bit more than just the protest, so let's see how that goes. So we have the front page of the Standards here talking about the revolt continues as MPs gather to debate the finance bill tomorrow. Kenyans have reiterated their stand that they object punitive tax measures. Yesterday, they made their point in churches and other worship places. President William Ruto has promised to listen to the issues, but he too was heckled in Nyahururu as he attended a church service. First of all, Nyahururu people, thank you very much. Kwanza, the ones who are outside, thank you very much. One of the things that I find a little disturbing when it comes to how the media is also choosing to cover this, and this is, I'm calling them out on this one, is one, the way the government is moving. The government is moving as if there's violent protests happening. Let's be honest, we have peaceful protesters and violent cops in the streets. So that's how it's been. But the fact that when the president was going to Nyahururu, they literally installed metal detectors into the church for people to walk through. People were getting checked before they went in there. And I'm like, maybe the other thing we should do, I think the best thing would have been guys not going into the church, but standing outside and heckling him when he's leaving. So the church is empty and he's talking to himself, right? And then the people who would have naturally attended the service are like, we're outside. But anyway, that's what I would do. I don't know about you, but also I am not someone who goes to church, so maybe that's why. For people who are like Sunday lazima, that must be very different. Might be very different. Again, back to the way the media is using the word Gen Z. They're trying now. It's like they're using it like it's a slur. Policing the police. Gen Z apply effective methods fixing rogue elements. You have exposed through your peacefulness who the true violent people are. That's a quote by John Allen Amo, who's a journalist. There's a really nice video he did that's circulating on Twitter. If you have time, go watch it. He was just like giving his 2 cents on how the older generation can better support the young kids who are going to the streets, who are pushing this movement forward. It's a really, really beautiful video. Widows call for their land and property rights to be respected. If this bill is passed, that land will not even be yours anymore. I'm sorry. Mudavadi's press chief arrested in extortion racket. I'm like, this is where the police should be focusing their energy. Focus your energy there. So yeah, we have a lot about the protest and the finance bill, basically, and how people are reacting to it. Street protest exposed Ruto's blunder on budget making. And one thing I was thinking earlier, I was like, them taking this thing lightly from the get-go will be something they're going to really, really regret, because they've literally shown that they're not listening. And then secondly, before they even tabled it in Parliament, they should have paid attention to what people were saying, because it was already there. The evidence was already there. People were already complaining. But then they still went ahead and were like, people are being offered money. I'm like, also all that money that they were offering, was offered to these people who MPs who were to vote yes. But you're saying we don't have money. So you take that money and use it to raise the money you're trying to raise. I'm like, I don't get it. Then I think the problem is when they're trying to gaslight people into thinking that, no, it's because you guys don't understand, and that if this thing doesn't pass, the government will have no money. But the government, when they came in, they said there was no money. So whatever you did when you came in and there was no money, do that. But then you find out that it's actually not true. The finance bill is only supposed to raise around 300 billion. They're about a little over 300 billion. But they still have, they're just trying to add a bit more money to. So it's not like this finance bill alone is supposed to raise this 4 trillion. No, this one is just for a really, 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 really tiny portion that they're trying to add. But if you think about it, given the amount of money that is stolen in this country through corruption, that money already exists. More than enough of that money already exists. Where is it? How is it being used? There's someone who pointed something out. Again, we're back to the threads. Someone pointed this out online and they said, have you noticed how there's no major project that's happening in the country, despite the fact that we're constantly borrowing money, we're constantly being given money, but we don't have any major projects? Since this guy got into power, there's not a single project that's been completed, not one. So where is the money going? What are you doing with the money? Just flying around. Secondly, this man, they claimed that he spent over 12 billion on local travel, domestic travel within the country. I'm like, if 12 billion was injected into our economy, wouldn't we notice that? Wouldn't we feel it? Because I'm not seeing, in the industry, there's nothing I'm seeing that indicates that maybe 12 billion was poured into it in the last 9 months. It's insane, to be honest. Back to the papers. Let's see what else we have. Tea politics candidates splurge millions ahead of Friday election. Which election is this? Let's find out. 6 candidates have been declared directors and opposed in east of the Rift electoral areas. In west of the Rift, all the 300 candidates from 19 tea factories face opposition. So it's about tea farming. Do you agree with the court that CBC should stay? Maybe, hey, CBC, I know nothing about CBC. I will not lie. I've not engaged with it that much. I think the problem, maybe the idea is nice, implementation might be bad. Maybe they should have just gone to the old 844 system, if we're being honest. There's a reader's corner here. Again, discussing the demos. It's not business as usual as future leaders come out forcefully to oppose Finance Bill 2024. Do not subject poor Kenyans to more taxation. That's a story that we have over there. Gen Z's takes to the streets, and then they just have a bunch of tweets from different people. MPs want protesters without permit jailed. That's a new bill that they're actually trying to propose. Let me tell you, sometimes in this country, it's quite sad that what happens is they will look at stuff that's already working and be like, how do we mess this up a bit more? Instead of actually fixing things that are not working. Case in point, in a whole introduction to that shift thing, whereas NHIF has problems that need to be fixed. Just fix NHIF. Is it that hard? Just fix that one. But here we are. They're introducing a whole new thing, making it mandatory. And then at the same time, you're being told this is how it's going to limit you. You won't have access to ABC. It's going to be insane. Why coastal hotels must fight climate change with zeal? Let me tell you, one day we'll have a conversation about climate change. Do I believe in climate change? Yes, I believe that that's something that's happening. Do I think that we're the biggest contributor? Not by, not even close. So it does, when you look at the numbers, sometimes I'm not a mathematician, but I like looking at numbers. When you look at the numbers, even if all of Africa did everything by the book, the world would still be messed up because we're not the biggest contributors. We are actually the smallest contributor to the issues when it comes to climate change. And that's why I'm wondering why our trees were being cut down, because honestly, why? This is insane. So yeah, there's that. 10 ways imbalances affect your health. That's the centerfold in the health and science part. Again, more on climate change. And that I'm seeing that they're not focusing on the people who were killed, who are, So the papers, basically, they're just also focusing on the protest and just getting people's opinion on what's happening. They have their opinion pieces. So I'm not seeing anything here that's just like, hey, look. Guys are also donating blood at Kenyatta National Hospital. So if you have time and you don't mind donating some blood, go to KNH and please donate some blood. It's for a good cause. They are running low. And even our people, when the people are going to the streets and they get hurt, they are ending up there. There's a young man who ended up there who had 5 bullets in his legs because he got shot during the protest. So yeah, let me take this time to say, please go donate blood at KNH. It's really, really needed. I'm really not saying, yeah, I'm tired. I'm done with the papers. Let's listen to Kukantu.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. I hope your ego acts out. I hope you will hate me, angalau. Na kama huwezi, tell your friends it's allowed. No need to defend me, nishakuwa ex, please. Let your inner voice speak out. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. If it ends in tears, it was beautiful. I'm sorry it hurts, I'll miss you too. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. All the memories umekusanya, the ones in your head zinazokudanganya ati umechoma bet. Trust me, the best is yet to come. Si uongo, yote vizuri huisha. I know you know, your heart was never mine, ulikuwa umenilon. Kima umivu, trust me, you are not alone. But I am a lost case, so let's focus on you. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. I hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. Don't.
Give us a reason to love and to hold, to kiss and to cuddle. I know we've been on a very rough road. I know you will never leave me alone. Baby, take your time, take it easy. I don't wanna lose the memories again. Make me see that you could fight nowhere with a hand. You man's a killer, sick cooking and jelly.
So don't you know that I will ride with you? Pick a fight, baby, count that I will side with you, side with you. Give you the loving that you're starving for. And I'll say yes, you're love 'em and 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 for your love, you know nishajituma. These other boys fell in love with the woman.
Yeah, love 'em and 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 you really know that I wanna be a woman. The
This is real, this is real. What we have, listen, baby. So real, how we ni much easy, ni much easy, ni much easy. This is real. Oh, what we have, me and you. It's real, how we ni much easy, ni much easy.
This is real, this is real. How wengine ni machizi, how wengine ni machizi, ni machizi.
And I'll stay as your lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me. For your love, for you know nishajituma. These are the ones fell in love with you. Lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me. You really know that I wanna be yours.
Oh, man, no. Hey, Mr. Lover, man. Lover, 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 man.
I'll be your lover, man.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Brandy Minor teaming up with Ethan Music to give you Loverman. And of course, I'd mentioned Tukukantu with Wendo Mwaki just before that. How has my weekend been? Because this is the part where we usually talk about all the cool stuff I got to do over the weekend. But maybe I tell you the cool stuff I didn't get to do over the weekend. I was meant to go for a show yesterday, but it was hard. I was meant to go watch Diverse, or rather rewatch Diverse, which is an amazing show by Ngatia. I didn't make it yesterday because, well, stuff was happening. On Saturday, what did I do on Saturday? On Saturday, I rested. I tried to rest, but I was still working from home. Rested, did my nails, and then went for a show. That was a punk rock playing. So I went for their show. That was interesting, but it was so cold. It was so cold. It was very, very cold. And that was about it. And then yesterday morning, spent most of the day sleeping. But then right now where I'm at is like the moment I touch my phone, that's it. I'm making 1,010,000 phone calls, checking up on people and stuff like that. So it's been a long week that is not over yet. Tomorrow, Kenyans are planning to be back in the streets, which I'm so proud. Let me tell you, I am so, so proud to be Kenyan in this particular moment. And I'm so proud of all the people who are doing the amazing work of constantly reminding people why this is important. I saw a clip this morning of a mom speaking in church, very passionately saying, we shouldn't allow our kids to go to the streets on their own. We know they've started the movement, but we need to be right there with them, right next to them. And the idea of, like, let's be honest, the people who kind of messed us up, because it's them. And I get it. It was a fear thing. They were scared. Because I remember even growing up, whenever, like, comments about, like, Moi, because we're technically being taken back to the Moi era, there was a lot of fear that was happening. But you see, the problem here is back then, the media was controlled by Kinamoi and his goons, right? Right now, everyone has access to media through their phone. So I get to take a photo of what's happening. The next person gets to take a video. The other person gets to record a voice note. Every person can participate in showcasing exactly what's happening. And I think as much as we've evolved as a people, the politics are yet to evolve because these people are so used to playing those games, and those games have worked for them for so long. So they're constantly doing it the same way, but not realizing that that doesn't work anymore. Because right now, you say something, we just fact check you immediately. Like there was a guy who was trying to do like the whole fear mongering thing, and they post a video from like protests that happened years ago, such a long time ago, and then they were trying to pass them as this past week. And before even people checked him, Twitter was like, this is old footage, because fact checking has become a thing. So I love that, because now propaganda can't propaganda the way it used to before. Like, it ain't propagandaing the way it used to, because now even us, we can start our own propaganda utadu. Mimi nezaenda tu niseme some random thingy and just fuel it, and then have other people co-sign, and then it becomes the truth. So they don't have that power anymore. And I think that they're not noticing that. It's taking them a little too long to catch up. So by the time they're noticing, it's like things are already moving. So again, this was just to say I'm very, very proud of each and every Kenyan that is showing up in the streets, that is supporting in any way, shape, or form, be it resources, be it giving your time, giving your expertise, whatever it is, like amplifying this stuff, retweeting online, sharing on your Insta stories, because this is how you change a country. And you see, they might want to act like we're doing something so big. We're just holding you accountable. That's it. We just want you to be accountable to the people who put you where you are. And again, this is a movement that has sparked, and we better see a change come 2027. Like everything leading up to 2027 right now, we're doing a complete overhaul. Maybe it's time that politics in this country changed. Maybe. It starts with us at this point. Polaris pulling up with Wallahi.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Hey, hello. You look familiar, have I made up with you before? Let's just be serious, kabla uanze tukunipo. Nionyeshe Insta labda nitakukumbuka hivyo. Oh, hey, hello. Sikuamini lakini ni kama nimeona ghost. Miezi mbili ndio maana siwezi pita kino. Na tangu lini ukaanza kuwa na story mob? Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlay, it's like a different kind of weather. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlay, it's like a different kind of weather. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Go fit, Allah. Go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana. Lin West, bana. Go fit, Allah. Go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana. Lin West, bana.
Japenda in a long time. I get excited when I see you smile. Every time I close my eyes, now na pictures are milele. I know you're scared and it's alright. Expectations kill the vibe. I don't wanna rush, baby, don't try no way. Let's fall in love, but slowly, slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly, let's fall in love, but slowly. It's not so easy for me kujua unapenda na kucheza chini. Seeing you walk by me, knowing what we could be. I wanna rush into your arms. I wanna lay right next to you. I wanna be the love of your life. So let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly. Slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly, slowly, let's fall in love. Learn to love me slowly. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Ochiko with Slowly. I have to still remind you I'm a lover girl. I know we are in a fight. It's the lover girl in me that's helping me fight, please. So once in a while we have to tap into that lover girl energy. Why not? So when we come back, I know we're going to play like a song before we end things. I just want to give you like a brief overview of what we'll be talking about. Today we'll be having a conversation about the modern woman and the fight for freedom. This is definitely in reference to the finance bill, the demos, the protests that have been happening. But I want to take you through a small journey when it comes to the fight for our freedoms, whatever they may be. So that's what we'll be discussing in the second half of the show. And I'm excited to be taking that journey with you, having that particular conversation with you. So we are. Tomorrow. I have feelings. I have feelings about tomorrow. Feelings of we're gonna be there, and I have ideas. So let me come share some of the things that I've learned. As we discuss the thing about the thing. Here is Sage with Heaven.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
no, I would follow you anywhere. Take a train, plane, car, again, baby, and I'm gonna find you there. Cause you took my heart completely, captivate my mind. You read me, I've known nothing but sunny days since the day when you received me. God really knows how to make a situation turn around. May the sun rise high and I saw it, even with my face turned down. So many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny how many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand and you teach me to fly. Oh, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh. Thought that I was at the end, but truth was I was just beginning. Thought that I had lost it all, but in the sense I had found something. Wouldn't trade for the universe. Do it all again, I hit it first. So few people ever make something last. They look for what they lust for, and it runs out so fast. Made a lot of mistakes, but you look past it all. Don't expect perfection from me, proud even when I fall. But so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you were never. I guess your mama taught you better. No need to put me down so you can feel high. Cause together, my love, we can touch the sky. It feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, baby, your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny. Many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand, and you teach me to fly. But so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you would never. Guess your mama taught you better. 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 'Cause baby, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love feels like heaven, 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 heaven.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Chemutai Sage with Heaven, and now it's after the 12 p.m. mark, so you know what that means. It's Monday, doesn't mean OnlyFans, but it means something else. We'll be seeing you after the next few songs as we get ready to have our conversation today and see what we can learn from the women who've come before us and see how we can apply that moving forward as we continue to fight for ourselves. Remember, the hashtag is She Talks on Power Radio, or you can also use the hashtag Power Radio. The handle is Power Radio, that is PAWA. So anytime you hear Power, it's PAWA. I will be seeing you after, I think today is after last name. Yes, after Miss Nikita Kering. I'll be right here.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I got you morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover. Middle of the night, I hear you calling, heat rising and I can't ignore it. Body on mine, I'm fantasizing what you have done, what have you done to me? Craving your body like I never ever. Just looking diamonds, I'm shining for ya. Riding the wave like I'm riding on ya. Tell me what you can do, what you do to me. say I got you morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover.
Sneaky link, winky wink. So many things between you and me. No feelings, no strings. More chillin', more drinks. The more I drink, the more I sip. So much going on in the screen. Getting kinky, getting freaky. Got me loving you up on the sink. You're so sweet and tender. Sote tuko na agenda. Si unajua vile naipendanga. I got you
Morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover.
so sweet and tender. Uko na agenda. Na ninapenda, penda.
So sweet and tender. Gonna agenda. Unani, unani penda.
I was looking for affection, then I ran into perfection. It was never my intention to fall in love again. I remember it so clearly. Akiniona nikipanic. I was never made for parties. She went ahead and held my hand. She said, life's too short, better shoot your shot. Kahukore basi kunywa shot. Nakauka sober, then even better. Najua behutani hepa. She said, life's too short, so I'll shoot my shot. Yeah, I believe I was made for more. If I don't tell you, then I'll never know. I would rather tell you now.
I was looking for attention when she came in my direction. I wasn't looking for a good time, no. I was tired of the drama till she opened her mouth. She spoke to my soul. She broke all the walls I'd built inside. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema.
Ended up talking about our observations, judging drunken people, vile tunapanga interventions. Machache nilisema, but I loved the conversation. Ilikuwa polite na bila hata pressure. Aura yake ni kama ya malaika. Whoa. nikashuka, nimetembea mi nimezunguka, na hii mto siwezi vuka bila we, nasinzia nikiwaza kila day. Kwanza bila pesa na kuanga na pressure, juu siwezi kutesa, lakini madam asoli napigana, vita nimepigana, miezi zinashikana. Hey. Amenifanya nipende tena, vipi siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena, vipi siwezi sema.
Don't even know. Don't even know. Don't even know. Something about you. Circling down, don't even know. Looking for someone to get me out the door. You got me dumbfound. Need a bit more than telling me how we gon' be affected. Oh, there's something about the way you make me feel. Something about the way you made me new. Something about the way that we could be messing us up. Nearly got me waiting outside. You got me going. I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. See, I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. You better go sign a waiver, 'cause I'ma violate you and then more. Telling me how we gon' bang bang, then get the ring more, doing less talking. So many try to get inside my feels, but nobody got it, but better sign that deal. Nearly got me sticking around, maybe there's something about you, something about the way you make me feel, something about the way you made me kneel, something about the way that we could be messing us up. Nearly got me waiting outside, you got me going. Name, but you got me like, I don't even know your last name, but you got me like, I don't even know your last name, but you got me like,
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
I was distracted. I will not lie. In my head, I was like, oh, we're playing another song. You're listening to Power Radio, and my name is Muthoni Gitau. This is She Talks. And today we are having a conversation around modern women and the fight for freedom. The reason I wanted to have this particular conversation is because anytime there's a fight for anything, women are always at the forefront, always ready to, hit the ground running, do the work, do the necessary. And this has happened over and over again. And I think the reason this is the case is because when you look back through history, the things that women have now were never given to them. They fought for them. The freedoms that women enjoy today are freedoms that women fought for. And so whenever it comes, like, women are no strangers they're no strangers to fighting for freedom, to fighting for their own rights. So in this particular instance, I want to talk about the journey from, like, in Kenya. The context will touch kidogo globally. The context of Kenya, the participation of women when Kenya was getting its independence, or when we were fighting for our freedom, which, let's use the word independence, because I feel like freedom is not exactly the best word to use, because are we there yet? Are we really free? Because even now, all the stuff that's happening, we're doing it, it's the bidding of the white people who were our colonizers to begin with. So the question is, like, have we learned nothing? Or now it's just like, there's someone's like, at least I stand to benefit, so I don't mind selling you people off as long as I stand to benefit. So that's the that's where we are. Okay, so we're going to touch a bit on that, and then we're going to talk about the context of the current demos that are happening in the country. And yeah, I'm really excited to have this particular conversation with you. Let me catch my breath because honestly, I just dove right back in. Here's Muthaka with Quicksand, and then now we do the thing.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tell me, baby, anything you wanna say, just to make it bleed the same. That you'll never go away, baby. And tell me, baby, tell me, do you wanna do all the things I want you to, even when you're miles away, baby? Ooh. Your love's made of quicksand, sinking deeper every time I try to get away. Living the moment, every touch like heaven sent you down to reign over me. I'm obsessed, I can't forget the way you loved me. Tell me when you want me, if you want me, to tell me, baby. Won't you tell me, baby? Tell me if you want me, tell me, baby. Tell me,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
If there's something I like, it's that the horn at the end of that song. Oof, absolutely beautiful. You are listening to Power Radio, and now you're joining me for a conversation on women, or rather modern women, and the fight for freedom. I told you the reason I wanted to have this particular conversation is because when it comes to the fight for anything, women are always at the forefront. And today I wanted to talk about the way women have been fighting for their freedoms, and then also touch that a bit on the demos that have been going on in the country, rejecting the finance bill. And basically, it's not just that. It's like Kenyans are just saying, please, we are overtaxed and this is too much. Can you do something else? One of the problems we have as a country is that I don't think our problem is tax collection. I think we collect enough money. The revenue is there. The problem is how it's used. We don't know. Money is stolen because you can't be standing here. There was a report last week that what's his face? Some guy. His name starts with an O. This guy had stolen 2 billion. Yes, there was a case against him about the theft of 2 billion Kenya shillings, and it wasn't just him. It was him and his kids, right? So it's a politician, of course. Him and his kids there was a case, and then they're called the EACC, the people who are doing the corruption thing, the ones who are supposed to be safeguarding us, doing the investigations, that commission, seized some of the properties that he had and vehicles and stuff, amounting to about 260 million Kenya shillings in exchange for dropping the charges. And I was like, what do you mean? How does that math? Because it's not mathing. The thing is, if you tell, like, that's you're communicating. If you tell me that if I steal 2 billion shillings, the consequence will be 200 million shillings, I will steal the 2 billion. And then out of the 2 billion, give you the 200 million and be like, see, we're good. And then keep it pushing. I feel like that sends a terrible message. If anything, if someone is being investigated for corruption, I think one of the things should be, one, they're never allowed to run for office ever. Even if you've been investigated, you don't have to be indicted or investigated. Kulikuwa na rumors that ulikuwa umeiba pesa. You shouldn't be allowed to run for political office. 2, if you've stolen money, we should have an interest. Kama uliiba, tuseme, which year are we in? 2024. Let's say it was from 2021. Each year, 50% interest of whatever amount of money you've stolen. Because your pesa penye iko, so you're investing it. See, it's making you money. So, kwani kazi yetu ni kukupea pesa, tumekupatia kaa capital alafu turudishie. It should earn us money. So because also we need to find ways to deter people from doing this kind of stuff. But if you're telling someone that you take 2 billion, all you have to pay is 200 million, it makes it so easy for people to actually take the 2 billion. Because they'll have enough to give you the 200 million. They won't care. They're still left with a lot. I'll still be left with 1.8. I'm good. So, yeah. Anyway, back to our conversation about women and the fight for freedom. Women have had to fight for everything they have. And there's some revolutions that have happened over time that were female-led all over the world, that is. We have places like in Nigeria, in South Africa, if we're looking at the African context. We also have places like France, New Zealand, if we're looking globally as well, where like a women's uprising sort of brought around a revolution. The one I would want to talk about is like the Women's March in South Africa. I think I would want to just touch on that a little bit. And then also not forgetting here in Kenya, the work that was done by Kina Wangari Maathai. Let's be honest, like without such figures, we wouldn't be able to do some of the things we do. Let's just be honest, okay? And the sacrifices that they made, because I will never forget like that whole story of how Wangari never used to have like hair on some parts of her head, and she made sure to stay, like, you know, she could have easily gone bald, because mimi nikivutwa nywele, next day sina nywele, nisha style differently to hide the fact. But the fact that like they pulled out her hair, she organized women, and women were willing to walk the streets naked to fight for their freedoms, to fight for freedom. And I love that even with time, the evolution of the fight has also changed in terms of the approach is different. And then people are also looking at their strengths and being like, this is my strong point, so what I'm going to use is that, versus it just being like throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks. So there's been like a bunch of women-led revolutions across the globe. And like I said, it reminds me of the conversation we were having about how, when you think about it, slavery was first experimented on women, because you just have to find something that separates people. And if you think about it, I think politics, the way politics is structured, politics works very well if you're playing a game of separation. You try to put a wedge between the people in some way to make sure that they start fighting each other, and then you get away with whatever you're doing. So when you think about it, even like the fight for right now, let's talk about what we're talking about, which is like the demos that have been happening, the first thing these people thought to do, because it's like, okay, before they used to use tribe in Kenya. So it was like the people from these tribes and people from these tribes, da da da. But now they couldn't use that because everyone is in the street. So they were like, oh, we're going to try use class. If classism can help us, let's see how far that can go. And immediately that was shut down again. I love the way this movement is just, it has a life of its own, and it's very hard to think, because kitambo, like that one ka comment on national TV, someone would be like, by the way, na sisi tunatembea, oh, it would have probably worked, because also you don't know what the other people are doing, but we're there with them, we are seeing, so it's like, okay, and because we have a generation of people who are not afraid to say, okay, fine, and so it's not gonna work. We'll just be like, sawa, okay. And then you keep it pushing. They're so used to people getting distracted easily. I think even like with the abductions, it's just a way to try and distract us because they want to shift the focus to one thing. But I'm like, you know what? We have strength. We can fight multiple fights at the same time. Don't worry about us, imagine. Don't worry. People can fight multiple fights at the same time. We can be searching for justice for people who are getting abducted. We can be looking for them. And then at the same time, we can still say reject finance bill. So I think because the tactics back in the day used to work very well in that fashion, it's not working right now. And the thing is, they've posed things like social media for so long that they didn't understand the power it has. So we're going to talk about the power of social media right now. I know we did a whole show about it, but we're going to just touch on it kidogo in terms of their understanding of social media versus our understanding of social media.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
That's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. Shoka Moshe, that's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. nakupenda. Nikwendete, nikwendete, rudi nyumbani, rudi nyumbani. Shoka moshe, oh. Mina kupenda, nikwendete, nikwendete, mono, 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 mono.
Storyteller, hey, hey, hey. Hii baridi ni mbaya, hii baridi imetetemeka ya kutosha, kuja unikumbatie. Nimejaribu kahawa, nikajaribu gauge. Najua ukikuja utafanya disappear. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo. Tujipambe, pambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo. Tujipambe, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Natamani lako joto, natamani maso. Nimetetemeka ya kutosha, njoo nikumbatie. Nimejaribu blanketi, moto kwenye fireplace. Najua ukikuja utafanya disappear. Shida zangu si za doctor, I'm a whiskey. Je, nambie utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za doctor, shida zangu si za vodka. Je, nambie utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo. Tujibambe, tujibambe, tujibambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo. Tujibambe, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Baby niambie, oh baby niambie.
Uko down, uko ready, njoo to get busy. Uko down, uko ready, njoo to get busy. Uko down, uko ready, njoo to get busy. Uko down, uko ready, njoo to get busy.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Sanaipei teaming up with Mviri. Did Mviri, by the way, say reject finance bill? Nilikuwa nimemwona kwa list ya watu hawajaongea. So sijui kama ameongea. Kama hajaongea tutaanza kuboycott music yake because why do you want us to die? Sa. Who do you think? Unafikiria tutaweza ku-afford tickets za show? Ngumu in this economy. We're having a conversation around women, modern women, and the fight for freedom. I was talking about the power of social media and our understanding of social media versus what, like, say, politicians and the older-ish people understand about social media. For the longest time, okay, from the introduction of social media, they thought it's a place we just come to play. That's how they mostly see it. It's a place we come to play. And then after that, it became a place, when we started calling them out on social media, it became a place where we, quote unquote, had a bit of access to them. And they did not like that, because social media gave us access to politicians that we didn't have before. Before social media, even if you walked into, say, your MP's office, unless the MP is there, unless you had an appointment, you couldn't see them. But now you could share your thoughts by tagging them. You take photos, you tag them. And the other thing was, it also became a place to shame them. So that's what they saw it. They saw it as a negative space, because let's be honest, 90% of the time when you are looking for this politician, it's not because they've done something good. It's because they're messing somewhere up. Like they're falling short somewhere. So social media became a place of shame for them. And that's why, I don't know, one thing I've noticed is that, like with my other job, when you try to tag politicians on social media, a lot of them are untaggable because they've made sure to switch that thing. Secondly, they realize the importance of having a social media page, but not necessarily using it. So they only use their pages to tell us, quote unquote, the stuff that they're doing or planning to do, the tenders that they're getting for the counties or the constituencies or whatever it may be. But they don't see it as a place to talk to their constituents or have engagement with them and find out what the constituents actually need versus, what you're doing. And then for us, social media has been a place of community. It's been a place, again, access, same applies, but for us, access is different. Access means you can't say you didn't know. I can share this with you. If you ignore it, fine, but you can't say you didn't know. Secondly, it's become a place where we document the stuff that goes down. So even if we forget, sometimes 5 years is a long time. We forget because these people will come on the last year when they're doing their campaigns, they'll sanitize themselves. So sometimes we forget these things. What I like about social media is it never forgets. And case in point, the whole situation with that Embakasi MP who pew-pewed someone in a club. I'm not trying to say their name. Ugh. Who pew-pewed someone in a club. And he's been trying to use like this particular movement to sanitize himself. And there's people who are jumping on it. But what I like about social media is, again, it never forgets. So people are coming back and saying, no, remember this person did this. Don't forget, because this is who they are. So politicians are so used to using money and the power that they have to sanitize themselves and forget. Social media has become a place where we document and these things stay there. You can come force me to take down a video, but once it's gone, it's gone. You can't take it back. Ikishainda. And that's the beauty of social media. We have clouds, we have all these things where our things are backed up. Someone somewhere will screen record it, someone will download it somewhere, and it never disappears. So you can't actually completely scrap things off the internet. Again, they did not think that social media was as powerful as it is. And so they didn't see the need to start nining mapema. Right now, Dokina Waramba. Because they're like, and that's why you keep seeing them backpedaling. It starts off with, Ikitwa yendi mahali, we will do what we want. Our master has spoken, we will do what we want. Kidogo is like, yeah, y'all are just yapping, and you don't even understand. It's like, listen, if I go to the hospital and I'm sick, all I tell the doctor is how I feel. And the doctor goes like, that's malaria. Me, I don't know it's malaria. I don't know it's typhoid. I don't know what it is. I just know how I feel. And that's the only thing I can share. This is how it makes me feel. These are the symptoms that I'm feeling. And when I wake up like this happens. When I do like this happens. So when you think about it, they're trying to, again, use that. Forgetting, this is the generation that Kibaki made sure we got free education. We're not illiterate. We are not illiterate. Because the reason it was so easy for, say, the Moi era thingies to happen was because a lot of the people were not educated. We are not illiterate and we are educated. we are also informed. And these are things that you can't just ignore. Because kitambo, it would be easy to say, ata amwelewi, ata amwelewi. People are breaking down clauses in this thing down to like the last minute detail and making it make sense for people. There's a page right now called Civic Rise that's on Instagram where the finance bill has been translated into multiple languages, including sign language. Thanks to social media, we also have accessibility. We can access information a lot easier. And so having that makes it possible for people to have everything they need. So just because someone doesn't speak English or Swahili doesn't mean that now they're being left out. No. If I send my grandmother the video of someone explaining the finance bill in Kikuyu in a language she understands, she'll go like, what do you mean that's what they want to do? She gets it. If you send it to someone who uses sign language and you say, hey, this is what the bill says, and they're like, I get it. You send it to someone who speaks Taita and they get it. Uko Kiluya, they get it. So the funniest part is, why are they ignoring the common denominator and trying to pull all these other side shows and pull stunts when people are saying, we've seen enough and we're not boarding? I think it was, well, the other time we talked about this finance bill. I don't remember the days anymore. The last time we spoke about it, there's something I mentioned about the sideshows and the importance of not paying attention to the sideshows, but also noticing what the sideshows are about. Because these are tactics that they've used before and they've worked. But now in this day and age, you see, it's easy to gaslight a group of 10 people, a group of 20 people. You can't gaslight millions of people and just get away with it, because someone somewhere will clock it. Someone will be like, oof, wait a minute. I see something here and I'm not sure we're leaning in the same direction. Let's talk about it. So when it comes to social media, I love that people are educating each other. The other thing that has been happening when it comes to like these fights, one thing women will do, we will find shortcuts. And by shortcuts, I mean, mnatupa tear gas, we'll come up with solutions. On Tuesday, tukakunywa tear gas. On Thursday, watu wakakuja wakiwa wamejipaka toothpaste kwa uso, because it helps. Listen, as in, you can't, it's not something you just go like, yeah. People are evolving and learning. So I'm sure tomorrow people will be even better equipped than they were on Tuesday and Thursday. And people are learning. It's like, you come, you learn. The one thing that I would want to say, this is a call out to anyone who's listening. We don't know how tomorrow is going to go. Of course, they'll try and fight back. They'll definitely deploy police officers wherever you'll be. I would say remain peaceful, because they don't know what to do with you when you're peaceful. The language they understand is violence. That's why they're trying to start it with the hopes that we'll jump in on it. But we're not here for that. Just listen to us. It's about being heard. Remain peaceful. And me, one thing I'll say, my intention, I don't know about anyone else. For me, my intention is, if I see someone pulling a gun, I'm going to kneel down and raise my hands in surrender. If they decide to shoot me, that's an execution, because I've surrendered. If you want to do the same, I encourage it. Because it's easier to, when people are running, like we've seen what happened last week, they can just go like, oops, my bad. If I'm kneeling with my hands in the air, I'm just saying. I am just saying.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Wasn't long ago I swore I wouldn't love you, but here we are, here we are. Oh, and it hurts so bad. I swore I wouldn't want to, but damn, you pull me close. I forget who you are, who you are. Oh, and who loves you. Loving you must be the hardest thing loving me must be the hardest thing for heart to see. Loving you must be the hardest thing for me, and loving me must be the hardest thing for heart to see. But nisha potea, I'm lost inside your love, oh baby, nisha teleza. There's no going back, to know you only halfway there. How could I move on from you? No, how could I move on from you? Nisha potea, I'm lost inside your love, oh baby, nisha teleza. There's no going back, to know you only halfway there. How could I move on from you? No, how could I? Loving you must be, loving you must be, no, loving you must be. And we're too far to backstroke, and we're too deep to reload. I'm so high, I'm so high, I'm so high. I'm scared to call it false hope, too scared to back and go. But I'm holding on, I'm holding on, I'm holding on. Loving you must be the hardest thing for me, and loving me must be the hardest thing for heart to see. Loving you must be the hardest thing for me, and loving me must be the hardest thing for heart to see. But nisha potea, I'm lost inside your love, oh baby, nisha teleza. There's no going back, to know you only halfway there. How could I move on from you? No, how could I move on from you? Nisha potea, I'm lost inside your love, oh baby, nisha teleza. There's no going back, to know you only halfway there. How could I move on from you? No, how could I? Loving you must be, loving you must be, no, loving you must be. I'm anticipating, waiting, wondering if I'll make it to our destination. Wondering if our love is wasting away. Are we driving to a separation? Can't forget to mention the tension's been lacking. I stay backtracking to the good days. Reverse, you turn, it don't matter to me. Whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. I've been feeling off track, wondering what's wrong with me, 'cause something got lost on the way. No, nothing feels the same, baby. I used to get lost in your fragrance, something like butterflies and ecstasy. Can we take it back, back on the phone? Whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me?
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Anticipate. I anticipate to see you tomorrow. If I see you. Funny enough, like on Tuesday, it was easier to find people than on Thursday. Because on Thursday, we had a lot more people in the streets. And I know a lot of my friends were there. So how do I know? I just saw it on social media. Because I didn't bump into a lot of them, to be honest. I love it because people were separated into multiple groups. There were so many different groups. It was a lot harder to bump into people. But at one point, you see someone, tear gas inarushwa mnakimbia. I wanted to share some tips. If you're going to find yourself in the streets tomorrow, some tips that might work, also from observations from the last 2 demos that have happened. I've already told you the one for kneeling. Mimi, that one. Me, I'm like, if you're going to, I know, like, was it Dead? And whoever said we wouldn't go down on our knees or something. No, we need to be down on our knees in this one. Because we're not trying to fight the police. Me, I'm not trying to fight the police. I'm just trying to, like, we just want to come and sing and be heard. That's it, man. That's all we're doing. So that's one for me. If someone wants to join, yay. Second thing I would want to say, when you're trying to counter the tear gas, mix anti-acid, the tablets, with water, and then soak whatever clothing item you're going to use, a bandana, whatever you're using on your face, soak it in that. If you can, carry an extra bottle that has some of it. If it starts drying, you attach. Last time I had mine soaked and I actually had it wrapped on my hand. And when it became too much, I'd literally just put it over my face and it would work wonders. An anti-acid neutralizes the effects of that stuff. Make sure to stay safe and be with people that you know. Should anything happen to you, because what I've noticed is it's harder to find people, because if people are disappearing and they disappear on their own, it's harder to find them. But if I'm with Flows and Flows is taken, it's easier for me to say Flows was taken and put in a vehicle. So that's the importance of the buddy system and having people in your corner. Another thing I'll say is, what was it? I've said the anti-acid. Yeah. If you see someone trying to throw rocks, whatever, just try and stop them. Last time on Thursday, we saw, it was just, I think it was when those goons arrived. And I remember, like, first of all, those dudes looked out of place because, we'd been running around all day. So you could tell the general feel of the people. There's people who are wet because of the water cannons. I don't have a solution for water cannons, by the way, guys. I don't know what we'll do with that one. Sijui ni aloe vera tutajipaka ama ni nini. Sijui ni nini tutafanya hapo. Let's just hope. I'm hoping that, this is my plea to cops. We know you can't join us. We understand. But be easy. Go easy on us, man. We're fighting for you as well. It was sad because, like, on Thursday, we were there chanting, polisi wasiende Haiti. Alafu, immediately we're done with that chant. We sang the national anthem. And then what did these guys do? They poured that water cannon water on us, the pink pilipili water. I'm like, dudes, man, seta mngefanya time ingine tukimba ngoma zingine. Mlingoja tuwachantie. We still support that you shouldn't go to Haiti. Because this thing is not just about that one thing. It's everything that's happening. It's a culmination of a lot of different things that are going left. And something needs to give somewhere. So people are just fighting for their rights, and that's it. And those rights include yours as well. I know when you're in that uniform, you might feel like we're very separate, but you need to remember, wenye wanakuja kutuinfiltrate, I don't know, simkuja na tualama mtuambia, mkiona mtu amevaa elastoplast run. I don't know. Help is all I'm saying. But to the guys who are going to the streets tomorrow, I'm extremely, extremely proud of each and every one of you. For standing up for what you believe in, for making sure that your voice is heard regardless of how difficult they're making it, for showing up, for being present, and deciding that we're no longer allowing things to happen from the sideline. We're going to be present, we're going to show up, and we're going to make sure that the work goes on. Women, keep taking care of each other. Don't forget the water bottle with the spray bottle with the water thing. Yeah, I think tomorrow we're all coming with... But when you're kona goggles za kuswim simtuambia by the if they worked. Hey, they need to tell us. The guys who are wearing the goggles, the swimming goggles, Do they work? I need to find out, because if they do, I need to go buy myself a pair. I should buy myself a pair. Wherever you'll be tomorrow, join Kenyans. This is it's called it's a million march. It's everyone. This one's not for just, it's for everyone. It's for us all. So wherever you're going to be, stand up, show up, and do the thing. To end our show today, we are going to wrap it with Pognamating. That is Fena and Okelo Max. I will see you back here on Wednesday, inshallah, from 11 a.m. through to 1 p.m. And Anne will be hanging out with you in the morning from 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Have yourself a lovely, lovely week and keep standing on business, because if you don't, the business will stand on you.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Niko na visa, niko kwa simu na nasikia bashi meshika. Je, kuna madem, kuna maniga, maodine wamekuja kuchachisha. Ninajificha, sitaki picha, kubabae, sitaki vita. Nashikisha na mavela mabichwa, na tukishikwa jo mapel Mona Lisa. Tutoke BND, twende BNB, niko DND, usijam. I will be RB, I will be RB.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya vile inafaa. Kikomando kiritala jumi niko na mado, wenye vipindi na musonge kando, esima tu sama boso chopo, chololo chololo. Nobody can party like we do. Wamoke girumba ko kwarawe blues, kinena kalingi kipani ya sim. Meditation yaka bed ni soya design bololo, anebo bololo. So please no okadwa jo machendo bololo, anebo bololo. So please no okadwa jo machendo Mihadara zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelipu zimenichanganya napenda vitu si ufanya.
Mihadarati zishaanza kunidanganya hadi najishuku sana, zimelimbu Maximus
Pognamatin,
hey, and na Hodong, yeah, Hodong. BNB, Nico DND,
Mutoto ya Pamela.
I'll be right back. Tell him I'll be woo.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.